Okay, perfect. Hello, I am Goddess Raven, and this is the Goddess Raven Show. And I have the most amazing, beautiful, the Queen of Shade, Prophet, Shaman, Seer, Oracle. Look at that smile right there. Look at that glow and look at that energy. Can you feel that energy coming off of her? That empath energy, all those abilities. Ooh, I had to do an interview with her. I needed it.
I'm here.
How are you?
Hi, baby. I'm here.
Okay.
You just like talk. I'm like, no, you got to set it up. Set it up.
Okay, not a problem. So I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
And one of the questions are, what was the journey like for you coming into your abilities? Because you have so many of them, from seer, shaman,
Yeah.
oracle, prophet,
Yeah. Yeah.
mentor, ooh,
What's crazy?
healer.
Yeah. What's so crazy is, like I said, I was born with them. The uncanny thing about my family is I come from a family of shaman. So we all have the, as everybody has these gifts. They can see into the future, into the past. They all have these abilities and these gifts, and they're very strong in my family, starting with my grandmother. So coming into it, I was telling you before we started recording, that it's been at least since I was like 8 years old. It started as dreams, and my dreams were weird because what happened is, in my dreams, I would be visited by the divine. Never saw a face, never really saw a body, but I heard a voice. And that voice would always say to me, and like it would take me places, like around the world, different things. I go places, and then it's kind of crazy because then as I got older and then I walked past a place I'd never been, I had been there. It's crazy. But what happens is that voice would take me around and it would talk to me and ask me, what do you want from your life? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Like it was allowing me, because a lot of people say in religion, oh, you got to find your purpose and be directed. No, the divine with me was asking me, even as a child, what I wanted to do. And it's ironic because as a child, I told the divine, I said, I want to get married and have a beautiful home and have someone that is okay with my last name. That was my first answer
Wow.
to the divine. That was my first answer, like literally my first answer. And then the dream started to intensify and questions and questions. And then it started to happen while I was awake. I could see vision like a movie screen in front of me. And I'm like, okay. But the voice was still constant. What do you want? And for me, I'm a little hoarse right now, so I'm speaking lower than I usually do. But my voice has always been very effeminate, very high, very distinctive. So I remember walking down the street and the divine used to commune with me. Like I would, if you ask, I always spent a lot of time by myself. I was that child. I always spent a lot of time by myself. I wanted to play with the boys, but being in the city and being a and being suspected of being gay at that time was very hard and very difficult. So it left me alone a lot. So I realized and got used to being alone often. And then in my alone time, I would just commune with spirit. And that second thing I asked was when spirit said, "What do you want?" I said, "I like my singing voice, and I never wanted to change, never." And literally, I went through puberty, and my voice did not change. No, my voice did not change. I am still the soprano, mezzo soprano that I was as a child. Like literally, puberty happened, and I'm still the mezzo soprano. So that and it's just been a continuous progression in my gifts to now. I'm awake. I'm fully awake, and even while speaking, spirit is already talking to me about you. So it's yeah, yeah. So it happens now. It happens. Yeah, it happens. It, that's what I'm gonna say. It's been a long time.
How do you cope with that? That like you're focusing right now, trying to do the get through an interview, and you're talking about yourself and your journey, and actually traveling, in different times and different situations, and they like, oh no, well, we got some message right here. We got to tell you right here, or I want to tell you about this right here. How do you cope with that at the same time?
You know what's so crazy? My best friend Victor. Shout out to Victor. I love you.
I
He
know Victor. I
Okay, good. Okay, good. So what happened was Victor, probably about 2 weeks ago, he brought something to my attention. He said, BJ, that's my first name starts with a B and a J. He was like, BJ, he was like, I just realized something. And I'm like, what did you realize? He was like, because we were having a disagreement. He was like, the only reason we're having a disagreement is because I'm trying to follow the conversation. And I just realized you're talking to me and you're talking to spirit at the same time out loud. So you're having two conversations at once. And he said it was frustrating me because I didn't have the answers to what you or the knowledge of what you were saying. He said I was missing half the conversation. But I realized you're not talking to me, you're talking to spirit at the same time. So when he said that, I acknowledged it and I realized it. And I said, oh my God, I'm doing that. And it helped. Like I started to immediately kind of not change my behavior, but be more aware.
okay.
This conversation, if you need to take a pause, take a pause. And, but like, listen, I'm sitting here right now and spirit is saying to me that you've been through a lot. Spirit is saying to me that you have seen more sad days than a lot of people. But Spirit wants me to say, see, in the middle of our conversation, Spirit is talking to me about a joy that's coming your way. You know who you are. You've always known who you are. The problem is that people around you don't want to allow, and I'm going to use this word, allow you to be who you are. So my thing is what we have to do in our mentor sessions is fortify you and get you to realize that you don't need permission from anyone to be who you are. You know what. That's the thing. Confidence is key, but trusting in who you are as a person will start to manifest so many things in your life. You see? And now back to the conversation at hand. So, Victor, yep, see? But Victor, he let me realize I was having a conversation. So, it's not even really that I cope, I adapt. I adapt.
Right.
And, some people are like, oh, that's crazy. Well, it is what it is because both conversations are effective and both conversations serve their purpose and bring about a healing. So I just live with it.
Do they ever get frustrated? Because I
Uh,
know that some they get moments where does the divine ever get frustrated when you don't, like like say for example you have a bunch of, they want you to, they know that you have these abilities,
mhm.
and you might get doubt or have doubt, and so they're like, nope, come on now, get the going, do what you got to do.
They never get frustrated with me.
Hmm.
What they say to me is, you've got, you've got this. You can do this. Spirit is very, very nurturing to me because sometimes when I have to say things, it's like I do feel that fear because it's like I'm exposing, not just what I'm saying, but parts of your life. And people might get upset because they haven't dealt with that part of their life. So that always kind of makes me cautious. But Spirit says, you were made to do this. You were made to do this, and they came to you. So since they came to you, give them
It
what
is what it is, right? Exactly, that is true.
you can do. And that's what happens.
Are you an introvert or extrovert, and
I
how does that affect what you do?
I am an introverted extrovert. Yeah.
I,
Isn't
no, I get it. I get what you mean.
I enjoy I enjoy my downtime. I spend my time usually in my room with low lights on so that I can recharge. And I like my alone time, but I can give you a public. appearance. I can give you a performance. I can give you a talk. I can give you a lecture. I can go out. It's no problem for me. I can do that.
Mm.
If it's right, if everything is right, I can do it. The spirit will move with me and we will do what we have to do. And then I will return back to my solace because um, being alone a lot, and I said this in my podcast yesterday, that developed my gifts. That was what did it. I didn't have to cloud my mind with, oh, well, I got to go hang here, or oh, I got to go hang out there. And another thing with me having the bipolar disorder, the post traumatic stress syndrome, and the acute anxiety disorder, I couldn't work for a long time. So it was in that time that I learned how to kind of build and fortify my gifts and then use them. So yeah, I spend a lot of time by myself. I do because I'm not by myself, if you get what I'm saying.
I
I'm
get
not
what
by,
you're saying.
yeah, I'm not by myself. So I'm by myself, but I'm not by myself. And I have come to, like, I love talking. Like I was just telling you before this, I love talking. I was voted most talkative in high school. I love to talk, but I love to have things to say. So because I usually have things to say, talking to me is an excellent thing because I have things to say. But that alone time, that silent time, that quiet time that extroverts need, that's
Mhm.
my recharge moment. I love it. I love it so much. So I do both. I love both. I'm an introverted extrovert.
I'm going to be doing the same thing too. Right now, I am doing the therapy,
Mhm.
and I'm going to use the time because I can't work to
Mhm.
because of that,
Mhm.
and to learn about more about my abilities and recharge and all of that. So,
Mhm.
wow, that's another similarity right there.
Mhm.
There's too many
Lots
similarities.
of similarities. Mm.
Is there a difference between being a psychic or being highly super intuitive? Or are they the same things?
No, there's a difference. There's
Okay.
like we were talking about the other day. Like people say, I've had people ask, do you do readings and do you do this and do you do that? And I don't. But get this, I could. I could. But with like a gift, I developed my gift and I like it more in the mentor capacity because then it's a dialogue. I like my thing for me is it moves me to talk to the person that I'm dealing with. So they're not the same. One thing my friends always say about me is I'm extremely clairvoyant. So that's how I do what I do. It's how people say to me, I needed this today. Today, you didn't even know that, but you spoke into my life today with your content, and I needed it so bad.
Yes.
I didn't how
Yes.
to do that. And my thing is because as a shaman, it's different. Shamans, especially in the sense of Native American and African descent, we are kind of like your village leaders. So you come to us when you have questions and when you need advice, and we use our gifts to guide your life, to help you figure out what it is that you need to do. And the difference between a shaman and a psychic, and I'm going to say this because I have friends and they're psychics, but with me, it's more of a hands-on approach, and I hold you accountable to actually do the work. So I'll tell you something and then you have to go about doing it. So then I set it up and I structure it as a mentee mentor situation so that I can make sure you're doing what you need to do and guide you so that you can get
Right.
yeah, so that you can get to where you get to. Yeah, shaman are a lot different than just tarot card readers or psychic.
It's like nurturing, like a
Mm-hmm.
guidance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm, it's very much that. You hit it right on the head. And then I'm with me doing the shamanism and the mentoring, I'm more heavily invested in you. I don't just do the reading and let you go. I'm heavily invested into you. I'm heavily invested in you finding your greater purpose, your greater good, and tapping
and
into
my and the growth process.
growth.
Right.
Yes, the growth is everything for me. Hmm.
Okay. What was it like the first time seeing someone's face morph in front of you? and realizing you could see who that person really was. Well, how did it impact you being able to see that and go through that?
I've been doing it for so long with people that now it's normal. So you asked me about the first time. First time I was afraid. I was young. I was a kid. I was afraid. But I heard a voice, saying to me, you don't need to be afraid of this. You need to see this. I said, like I was saying, all shepherds have to see the danger. So that's kind of my thing. I am hyper vigilant because I have a clan of people that support me and follow me. And as their leader, I got to see the danger. I got to warn. I'm the shepherd. I have to. And I don't really say that I am into sheep because that's an indoctrinated thing. I'm not into sheep. I never was a sheep. I'm more of a sheepdog. Like I said, more of a sheepdog. More I teeth. I defend. But yeah, the first time was a little jarring. But when I realized what I was seeing and that I realized that I acted, that was what helped me calm down. Even when my friend Boots Durango, he's a celebrity psychic and tarot card reader, when he read me after it was over, he said, "Man, oh man," he was like, "I was trying to read you and your ancestors." He said, "You are so heavily guarded." He was like, "You are so heavily guarded." He said, "I was trying to read you and they were doing the most." He was like, "This was one of the hardest readings I ever had to do because," and he was like, "What kind of magic do you have?" You know, but it's that ancestral power. Hmm.
But that's rough because you're trying to get a reading done, and it's because and it's so difficult to get. Wow.
You know what? It's not difficult for me.
Mhm.
Sounds difficult. It's not difficult for me. And that's the thing. When you've been doing something for so long, I've been doing it for so long. And that's the thing, like years.
Second nature. It's second nature. Not at this point. It's a part of you.
Yeah.
It's automatic.
It happens and I just do what I gotta do and move on. Hmm.
Hmm. So there was a question of shaman sickness.
Hmm.
And how do you nurture? Well, have you ever had shaman sickness?
Mm-mm.
And how do you nurture your energy, your shaman energy, and all your abilities? How do you nurture that?
You know what? I've never had shaman sickness. I have had times when I grew weary,
Mm.
tired. So, um, usually when I do that, you're gonna think this is crazy. My answer to that is to work more. I
No,
work
that ain't wrong. No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
That's pretty much yeah. Because then
through it.
it takes your mind off of that and everything. Yeah,
I
that
work
makes sense.
through it. I work through it. Yeah, I work through it. Like I've had times where I was frustrated. I'm like, this is too much. But I work through it. At this point, I'm not learning anything new. I'm maintaining. At this
Mm.
point, it's grown. Like, we always say, destiny and purpose, they're our children, they're our babies. My baby is grown now. My baby is no longer a toddler. I don't have to watch him. I don't have to, yeah, metaphorically, my baby is grown. So, yeah, I don't have that.
What is the one piece of advice you would offer to those scared, afraid, and nervous about their abilities?
You know what?
You learned.
You know what it is? You have to embrace them. And you have to embrace them by yourself first. See, most people when they feel like, oh, I can see this, or oh, I can say this, or oh, I this is what's happening to me, we immediately want to go tell somebody else. But this is the thing, these gifts are rare. And when you go and tell someone, you don't know if that person's gonna be jealous. You don't know if that person's gonna get angry, and say something to you about your gifts that kind of dash your self-esteem. So what I've learned is if you feel these gifts, shamanic, prophetic, oracle, sight, vision, what you do, you can cultivate them by what you see. And I'll just give you what you do is you first get started. It depends on what you have. But if you have the gift of sight in any capacity, you carry a notebook. And
Mm.
in your notebook, you write down key points that you saw. That's what you do, because that's why they're coming to you, so that you are made aware of something. You may not understand how to use that piece of information right at that moment, but write it down. I have notebooks full of things that have been said to me by spirit that I just wrote down. And then that's kind of how the Queen of Shade got started, because I just started going to that notebook and reading what was in it. Hmm.
Mm.
My videos are scripted. My videos are scripted. Hmm. Hmm. I write them.
I never, I don't know. I felt like when I was watching them that they were just off tap, just like they come out. And,
That it's that's the way it's supposed to be. But
okay.
literally, they're scripted. They're scripted because literally my ancestors, I can, and this is the thing. See, what you're thinking is not wrong, because what you're thinking after 5 years of doing this with penning them, I will, when I pen something, I pen keywords now. Keywords. I need to hit this word, and this word. And then I deliberate. I start to talk. And I do it that way. And then I remember those 3 words that I need to hit. And then I just go into it. But yeah, I've been doing it for so long. I'm so seasoned at it. I'm very seasoned at it.
Mm.
Yeah.
What was the journey like with shamanism? Like, because people get confused what shamanism is,
Hmm.
and what was the journey like for you? Because I know you say your family all have that ability, but what was it for you? What made
Well,
you say, I'm going to embrace this? This is going to be a part of me. I'm going to use this in my everyday life, everything. What was that like for you?
it wasn't by choice. It wasn't by choice. It wasn't. I had a whole different lifestyle ready to live and a whole different ideal. And it was so crazy because my grandmother was the one that said to me, your shamanism is going to bring you the life and the accolades and the money that you seek. And I was like, no, 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 I'm going to do it through my music. My music is going to do it. That's why I have all of this music. And she was like, oh, the shamanism is going to kick down the door. And,
Mm,
and she was right. She's a shaman. So, of course, she was right. So that's what happened. Like, shamanism is merely guidance. Like, if you literally were in a tribe, I would be your spiritual leader. You would have your warriors, you would have your kings, your queens, you would have the regular people that lived in the tribe, and then you would have the shaman. And the shaman would be the one doing the spiritual communing with the ancestors, praying over the tribe before battle and saying what they saw. No, don't fight this tribe, because if you fight this tribe, you'll lose today. That's what shamans do. And that was the crazy thing, because I've had saying it to me before I embraced it. It took a long time for me to embrace it. Back in 2008, I was on YouTube and I was just singing covers, and literally I had people that were Egyptian and coming from different places, and they were like, you're a shaman. You have
wow.
Yeah, they had been telling me. They were like, you have two spirits. And I knew that, a masculine and a feminine spirit in one body, which makes this being whole. A lot of people just have their soul, and they go out to knit with another soul to become whole, to be one.
Mhm.
Well, with shamanism, you're with most shaman, you're two spirited, you have both. So you have the masculine side, the feminine side, and they marry together in one body. And it helps you to understand the masculine divide and the feminine divide. Yeah.
You that whole tribe thing has hit home because
Hmm.
I feel like I'm forming my own. That there's a tribe forming of empaths and different people, shamanism, and
Hmm.
all of that is forming.
Hmm.
It's a good thing. It's a
Hmm.
good thing.
Hmm.
So when did you start mentoring?
I started mentoring right before the pandemic hit. Yeah, that was something new. Right before the pandemic hit, I started mentoring, and it honestly, great minds teach. And that's something that I always wanted to do. My grandmother, the Queen Mother, she's a master's degree holder. She's an educator, she's a teacher. And I knew that, well, I went to school for biology. I wanted to be a veterinarian. But like literally it's been 20 years. There was a lot of things that happened, but I ended up teaching. That's what I do. Like, it's the mentoring is so like, and I love when my mentors, my mentees speak to me about something and I give them guidance and then they go apply it. Cause see, that's the thing. You got to apply it. See, it's not a psychic reading. You have to go apply it in your life. You have to go put this into life. Application is key when you are being guided. So then they'll back like this happened, this happened, this happened. So then I'll go, okay, we have three options. Which one do you feel? Which one speaks to you? So it's kind of like a leader, like a guide. And then you pick, well, this one really speaks to me. I want to try this one. This is what I feel. And I'm like, okay, we'll go with what you feel, but don't guard the other two. You know, it's actually guidance. It's real, true guidance.
You said veterinarian.
Yeah, I want
That
to be.
is total opposite of the whole of your journey that you got going on now.
Yeah, I couldn't believe this. I, for a long time, like my family has musical gifts as well. So I didn't want to be like them. I didn't want to be a broke singer. I was like starving artist and all of that. I didn't want to do that. I was like, no. And then I always had this affinity. I don't like the way that the music industry is run. I don't like the way that artists are cheated out of their intellectual property. So I was like, I definitely am not doing this unless I'm doing it on my own, with my own company, with my own, team of people. And Spirit said, oh, so it's your purpose and your destiny to sing. It's your purpose and your destiny to give music and your voice and all recordings to the world. So, okay, the only way you'll do it is you get your own. And that's what happened. Spirit gave me my own.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, and I'm back.
Okay.
People sometimes don't know when they got their TV on loud.
Yeah, I shut the door too. I got a whole family in this house. Yeah, I understand.
Okay, now mentoring. I feel like you know what you just started doing it through the pandemic,
Mhm.
but wasn't it something that was going to be planned any which way, or this was just okay? So this was planned.
Yeah, I've been mentoring people since about 2003.
Mm.
Started with my fellow buddies that were models. I would say to them, like, I would little things, but because back then I was still very much not taking care of my mental health. So I would have like visions and then it would stop. I wouldn't be able to see them all through. It was a blockage. So I'd say to them, like, things like, because they were all models at that time, I would say, listen, you need to take your own photographer to the show and have your photographer shoot you. And then they'd be like, oh no, they're gonna take pictures at the show. And I'm like, listen, you're a small business. You need to
Mhm.
do this so that you make sure you can get to, it's not about this job, it's about the next job. And sure enough, they would disobey me. They would not listen. And then what happens is the pictures would come out from the show and the photographers only took pictures of the white models.
And they would be very disappointed. Mhm.
Because now you have no proof to say that you were in this show and you can't now get the next show. I used to always do that. I used to always say, like, my thing with the models was also American models do better in Europe. So I'd be like, why won't you leave and go to Europe? Go. But Americans, for some reason, they want to be successful here. I don't care about the success here. I don't care about the success here. I'm going over to, it's not about the success. It's about being who I am. And Paris allows me to do that. France allows me to be exactly who I want to be. And they uplift, support, and endorse that. So yeah, I've been mentoring for a long time. I never decided to make it a service until before the pandemic.
But isn't that tied with fear? Our fear of traveling, our fear of getting out of our comfort zone. Is is that majorly a part of that reason why a lot of people don't want to leave the U.S. to go to Paris or go to France or go to Italy or these places?
You know what it is? They want to stay where they're familiar and they want to be successful here. They don't want to go. You got to remember, most people are born, our kids were born in the United States. The United States to us is the greatest country in the world. That's how we feel, and it's not even, with all of that's going on, we know that it's not, but we feel patriotic without being told to be patriotic. So my thing was I couldn't understand it, but when a model scout and a booker told me you need to go to Paris, and they weren't paying for it, I got my plane ticket. I met friends. I did what I had to do, and I left this country with 50 cents in my pocket. I would never do that again. I would never do that again. But yeah, and then but the faith was so large that when I got there, I had provision, money, a place to stay, like literally started making my rounds, shot with famous photographers. Like I was manifesting things with my ability. I was manifesting things.
Wait, hold no. This is a story right in itself.
Yes.
You left
Yeah.
50 cents
At the middle of the night.
in the middle of the night.
hmm
Went to
August
a whole new place.
August the 4th, 2005. I arrived in Paris the afternoon of August 5th, 2005. I
And
left.
what happened? Because
Get
you
this.
left 50 cents.
Yeah, get this. One-way ticket. I was going to illegally live there until I could get established. And it was so crazy because things started to come together for me. But I hadn't still dealt with my mental illness. So I got sick there and had to go into the hospital for 2 months, I want to say. And
Oh,
friends there were very concerned and very worried. But the US there decided that it would be better for me to go home. Although I had nothing to go back to. I had nothing to go back to, but they sent me home. So they got
oh
my
my God. No.
but this was the thing. I was really sick. I was really sick, goddess. I was really sick. I was. Manic episodes for me were crazy. So I got in trouble with the police. It was a crazy experience. So, but the thing was, I turned around and they lent me the money to get home. So they said, if you don't pay this money back, you'll never be allowed here. So I went home and got a job just to pay them back.
I'm back.
Yeah. So, and but get this, it didn't happen immediately. I waited a year, almost a year, before I could even leave the house again. I was so devastated on having to return here
Mm.
and I was homeless at that time because my family put me out. So I was sick. I was gay. I was homeless. There was a lot of stuff happening. I've spoken about it a
Ooh,
lot.
you have had a journey.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have had a journey, but I realized something. I realized that I had to save myself. And that is what I did. And like I said, I've had 12 years of therapy. I haven't been hospitalized in 12 years. I take my medicine consistently, and I have been for 12 years. I have therapy every week, and I have
Mm.
12 years. I see my primary care physician every month, and I have for 12 years. Like I have invested in myself to
You
get
got a team. You got a team in place.
yeah.
That's good. That is good.
Yeah.
Wow. But that just goes to show that your story right here, everybody, y'all need to pay attention to this story because just because you have mental health, you
Yeah.
have depression, you have post traumatic, whatever you have, that doesn't stop or limit you. Go
Not
to
at all.
get therapy, get it taken care of, get your mental everything situated, get yourself a team
Yeah.
because you can have everything you want in life.
Yeah.
And Queen of Shade is a story that you can look at and say, "Oh yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do this. Look at the face.
Yeah.
Look at the flower. Look at the smile. Look at them teeth. Look at that. Look at that energy.
I don't look like what I've been through.
No,
Yeah.
you can't see the scars. Nope.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. And I'll be 39 here. So yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been
About Forever 21, but okay.
an immortal child.
I think people who are like you don't age. It's a slower age process. Because I'm looking at Ivana and all of them. I'm like, she's like dead near 79, but with slower age. She
Yeah.
doesn't age.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you looking about forever 21 at this point. So yeah, it's really gonna be a slow age process for you.
But you know what's so funny? I feel like that was spirit's gift to me because I've been fighting in my life since I was 5 years old, and
Mm.
fought for so many years just to have the right to live under the brutality, under the poverty, under all of those things. That this next chapter of my life it's already happening. It's filled with such success and such happiness. And I tell spirit all the time, for these gifts that I have, I suffered nearly 40 years. So these next, 40 years, they gotta be, you owe me happiness. You owe me happiness. And I'm coming to collect. And Spirit and I have made an agreement. It's like, listen, I want to live just as long because I want to be happy and there's so much I want to do. And I will be able to, and I'm doing it. Like, that's why they say, a lot of people do things and, they miss their window of opportunity. They don't get to, especially with mental health issues, they don't get to come back, bounce back, and still maintain and snatch their career. They're too old, they look old, it's not possible. But I was destined to do this because if you notice, my entertainment, my particular brand of entertainment is different. It's different. It's entertainment, but it's different. It's edification, it's healing, it's accountability, it's respect, it's responsibility, it's change, it's growth. I'm entertaining my following by telling them truthful things, truthful things. Like there's no lie. I don't lie. Like
You
not
give me guidance. You was giving straight up guidance. And a
exactly.
lot of, but you put a little dash of humor in it and,
Mhm.
and a little bit of sass, but you giving straight up guidance in all of those. You dropping jewels in each one of them 1 minute videos, 30 something minute video pod. You are dropping straight jewels.
It's for a time I didn't feel smart because of having to leave college. I felt inferior. I was made to come back here and work odd jobs because I didn't have a degree. I was very sad for a very long time. And then just last night, I actually said it out loud. I looked at all that I have done. I looked at all that I have built on my own. And I said, I'm smart. It was the first acknowledgement of that. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter that they say I don't have a degree. I'm smart. I'm smart. And my therapist and my psychiatrist have been saying it to me for years, but I couldn't let go of the hurt of having to not have my degree. I wanted my degree very badly because my home life was already hard. So a degree was going to take me far away from them. I'd be able to take care of myself, relocate somewhere warm. That is exactly what I wanted to do. But then all these years happened, and it was like, I remember literally sitting there and the divine saying to me, now will you use what you have? And I'm sitting there crying and I'm like, I have nothing. He said,
Mm.
he said, don't be so sure. And then I started to sing and yeah, realize and tap in and look inside instead of looking out there for a solution. I started to tap internally and then I realized, oh, I can do this and 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 whoa, I can do this and I can do that. And that's what happened. You're like, oh my God. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I've been around a long time.
I don't know. That conversation you had yesterday, it almost had me in tears because I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
so happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Look at you giving me such positive energy. I had to do this today. This interview, like when you asked me, I was like, I'm gonna do this because I feel something more here. And I'm like, it is such a breath of fresh air to have people appreciate your hard work. Your hard work. I've been toiling for years. And it's not like I feel like I owed something. I don't
Mhm.
I don't feel that way. No, I demand to be paid what I'm worth. That's a difference. And that's the thing. I look at all the things, all the experiences. I have videos, like I said, 21,000 of them. I literally have a video that can speak to every single issue and problem in anyone's life, and they will be helped. And even on top of that, I'm not done.
And I'm going to make sure that I put the link for her podcast, the
Yeah.
YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter. So y'all need to check every bit of guidance and jewels that she drops. You need it. Because I tell you, I was in such a place that I asked the universe for, I was literally crying to the universe, like, help me.
Right.
I need some, it was specific. I said a shaman.
Yeah.
That's what I asked for. I
That,
said,
that
please
that's funny.
help me.
That's funny.
I need this guidance in my life. I need some understanding. I need this. And
Yes.
I tell you, not even 2 weeks passed.
And there you
Not
go.
even. I said, damn.
Hmm. Quick,
Okay, universe.
quick, quick. It was quick.
Yes.
It was quick.
And then I said, okay, let me watch the videos.
Hmm.
And you dropped those on Instagram. And I was like,
Hmm.
my jaw was dropped the whole entire time. Like,
Hmm.
you hitting points like it was nothing. I was like, this is everything I've been through. This is everything I'm feeling. This is everything. I was like, get out my head. Literally, I was had to say, get out my head. And I was like, dang,
Yeah.
you are needed in the world.
And you know what's so crazy? I realized that. So I've made a lot of sacrifices. I've been celibate for 8 years because part of my energy I transmuted. I took the energy that I would use for a partner and put it into my work so that it was powerful. It is charged. You feel it. When I open my mouth, you feel it. Because even when I go back and play back and look at them, I feel it. And I'm like, and then there's such an overwhelming sense of gratitude. I'm so thankful that it's me because literally I could have been a statistic. Like, literally, there are a lot of young men right now collecting an SSI check sitting on their grandmother's front porch.
Mm,
That was what they were trying to get me to do. Okay, well, you can't work. You're mentally ill. You're mentally disabled. You need to do this. And I kept and I part of me was trying to accept that, and it kept falling through. Kept falling through. I'm not done with you. I'm not done with you. Spirit was letting me know, no, I've got another way for you. I've got another way for you.
mm,
And that's what happened. That's what happened. And most of the Queen of Shade, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was following spirit. I was following spirit. It grew and grew and grew to where it is now. This is growth. I wasn't like this in the beginning. I wasn't. I was far more angry. I was far more shady, for lack of a better word. And it just became something so beautiful to me that it was like, no, you have this platform. You can empower these people. You can speak to these people. You can help change these people thoughts. And when they change their thoughts, they will change their lives. And that's exactly what I started to do.
mm. I think that there's a lot of people out there who do that, who say stay celibate for
Hmm.
their powers, who do that. There's
You
a
know,
lot of them that do.
it's
Mm,
not even, I have to though. My powers work, my powers work
yeah,
well,
I know what you mean.
but it's not that I have to. It's just that I don't have time. I don't have time. I am busy these are my earning years. I am busy. I don't have time to and it's so crazy because years ago when I started at 19 as a model, I went to a little school called Barbizon and they started to teach me little things about modeling. They told me you need to get if you have a significant other, get rid of them. Get rid of them.
Amazon, I remember that school. Oh yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. But they told me get rid of you don't want to have somebody that's upset because you can't spend time with them the way that they want you to spend time with them because you're chasing a career. You're chasing success. So I just never nothing lasted. Nothing lasted. Nope, nothing lasted. So I'm not one of those people that get into relationships. I have men. I do. I have men. Of course I do. Yeah, not real relationships. I am like, I literally live sometimes on a moment to moment basis. I will be with someone, and that's the thing, because you asked me how I cope. Sometimes I'll be with a crowd and I will just leave. I will leave. I gotta go. I gotta go. The spirit is talking to me. And this where I'm at right now, no, I gotta go back and commune and write this down. And so it
Done that, and people be like, wait, where did you go? Oh, I
yeah.
had to go.
But you know
That
what,
crazy too.
what's funny now is my true friends. They know. They said, mm-mm, go ahead. They know because they know what's first in my life. Helping people as well as helping myself with these messages that I get from my whole ancestral team. They listen. They know because they watch me. They follow me. They like, ooh, they know, and they
That's
don't.
great that you have your friends that are around you that
Yeah,
understand you, support you, and like, okay,
it wasn't always like that. I like the friends that I have now weren't present during the building process.
they never are.
Yeah,
They never are.
right now that I know who I am. Yeah, I got new friends, true friends that respect me for who I am. And it's an amazing thing.